Hello and welcome to Open Day at Deakin University. This is the session for marketing and the Bachelor of Marketing Psychology. I am Virginia Weber. I'm a lecturer here in the Deakin Business School. I am the course director for the Bachelor of Marketing Psychology, and I'm very excited to talk to you guys about marketing here at Deakin University. Before we begin on our program, as we gather for this meeting, physically dispersed and virtually constructed, I'd like to take a moment to reflect on the meaning of place, and in doing so, recognize the various traditional lands on which we do our business today. I and Deakin would like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the lands specifically on which our university campuses are based. This includes the Wadawurrung people of the Kulin Nation, on whose country our Geelong campuses are located, the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation, on whose country our Burwood campus is located, which is where I am today, and the Peak Wurrung people of the Mar Nation, on whose country our Warrnambool campus is located. Into the program itself and Deakin University, first order of business is why Deakin in the first place, even before we get into marketing. Why Deakin? Well, we are among the top 1% of universities worldwide and the top 1 for educational experience here in Victoria. We also have fantastic student satisfaction for 12 consecutive years, which tells you that here at Deakin you will have a positive experience, and I'll be talking a little bit towards the end of the presentation in terms of what that student experience is actually going to look like. We also have fantastic resources, quality teaching, and we are ranked with the AACSB accreditation, the EQUIS accreditation, and some other accreditations specific to the programs for marketing and marketing psychology. In terms of the programs, the courses you might be interested in learning about today, I'll be talking about the marketing courses, those accreditations, but specifically getting into Bachelor of Commerce and the Bachelor of Marketing Psychology, talking about the differences between those two programs when it comes to marketing and what the differences are for you as a student and your student experience. I'll be talking a little bit then about the pathways, the work integrated learning, the student resources and experiences, and of course, how to apply and how to start your educational career here at Deakin. So marketing and these two different degrees that I've mentioned, the BCom, which has a marketing major, and the Bachelor of Marketing Psychology. Most of what I'm going to talk about today is going to apply to the Bachelor of Commerce and to the Bachelor of Commerce marketing major in particular. The marketing major is a business-focused degree. In the first year, as you'll see, it focuses on providing students with the finance, accounting, management, those units, which will help round out your business acumen as a future marketing manager, business leader, and someone who, if you decide you are more interested in finance or accounting, it's easy to make that swap over. The Bachelor of Marketing Psychology, on the other hand, is a little bit different. Rather than providing the business acumen, it focuses instead on the psychology acumen, which is very pivotal in today's marketing career, providing students with skills in and around things like marketing research, consumer behavior, marketing consulting, and those types of careers. So as we go through, the difference between these two degrees will be a little bit more clear, but just wanting to provide that clarity right up front about these two courses that I will be discussing. I did mention accreditation. We will come back to this notion as we go through, but accreditation provides a little bit of quality and clarity around what you're getting out of your degree. Here, our marketing programs are accredited through the Australian Marketing Institute, through AMI. And that provides a lot of benefits to students in terms of when they graduate, having a network of peers and future opportunities and doors open for you. Our Bachelor of Marketing Psychology, so I'll talk about a little bit later, is also accredited through the Australian Psychological Accreditation Council. Focusing though first on the Bachelor of Commerce, the marketing major. So it's a 3-year degree and it is offered at all of our various campuses, by which I mean it is offered in Burwood, it is offered in specifically our Waterfront Geelong campus, so only one of our Geelong campuses, and the online cloud campus. But it's all 3 trimesters have a separate intake. And if you are studying this degree, the Bachelor of Commerce, through the cloud, there's sometimes offerings in some of the other locations as well. In terms of the course structure, if you do happen to do a marketing degree through the BCom, like I said, your first year, as you can see here, includes the fundamentals, not just of marketing, but also of finance, also of economic principles, business analytics, management, and that business acumen. Following from there, you take the marketing specific units, consumer behavior, services, brand management, and you also have space in this degree for taking a minor and electives. Here you have a lot of control over what you want to do with your degree, and if you want to choose and go and learn more about finance and round out a minor in that way, and also include some electives to make sure that you're getting a breadth of different topics. And of course, something I'll be talking about in a little more depth a little down the line is our capstone unit, the strategic marketing unit. If you're interested in doing a Bachelor of Commerce here at Deakin University, as I said, here's our campuses, but the information you might be most interested in on this slide is the ATAR. One thing you might notice, our different campuses have slightly different ATARs. So the Burwood campus ATAR is 80, whereas the waterfront one in Geelong is 70, and the online is 68. The differences really relate mostly to student demand. We have a lot of students who try and direct entry here at Burwood campus, and for that reason, just a slightly more competitive ATAR. That does mean that if you're not 100% confident you'll meet the Burwood ATAR, you might consider applying online to our cloud campus and then transferring to our Burwood campus a following year. In terms of the other requirements, so the school leaver prerequisite requirements and entry requirements are listed here on the slide for you. 25 study score of English as an additional language, or 20 in a language other than EAL. Of course, we also have our non-school leaver requirements. So for those individuals who might be interested in joining us as a mature age student. And I won't read all the information on the slide for you, but of course, we also are happy to answer any questions you might have about the requirements. One of the great things about doing a Bachelor of Commerce is that it opens the door for double degrees. So the degree itself, the marketing major in the Bachelor of Commerce, is a 3-year degree, but you can choose to do a 4-year degree and do 2 degrees in one by doing that, and that is what a double degree is. So you can combine a Bachelor of Commerce and a Bachelor of Arts, a Bachelor of Commerce with Bachelor of Laws, Bachelor of Commerce with Sciences, etc. Some of the great combinations might be to do a Bachelor of Commerce majoring in marketing, as well as a Bachelor of Arts with a focus on graphic design, and really come out of that degree, although it takes an extra year, but 100% primed with the graduate ready skills for employment. You're able to pretty much design and create an entire marketing campaign off the bat, right as soon as you're done with your education. And that puts you in a very, very competitive position when it comes to future employment. Shifting gears right now to talk a little bit more about the Bachelor of Marketing Psychology, and again, where some of those differences are with respect to the Bachelor of Commerce Marketing major. So it is also a 3-year single degree. Unlike the double degrees that I was just talking about, the Bachelor of Marketing Psychology combines a full marketing major and a full psychology major within only 3 years, instead of it being a double degree that is 4 years. So all that impact of that 2 majors, but in a little bit less of the time. It does have this dual accreditation with the Australian Marketing Institute and also with the Australian Psychological Accreditation Council, like I said, and that is very important to this degree because what it does is make this a registered psychological pathway if a student chooses to pursue a future career in psychology, to become a psychiatrist or a registered psychologist. That is a very important accreditation because it maintains that door open and available for you for future study. This degree only has a T1 and trimester 2 intake, so no trimester 3, and it's only available Burwood and online, but we are always very excited to have you guys join us as the course director for this degree. I'm very excited, and how many students do join us online, not just here at our Burwood campus. One of the things that's unique about this degree that makes it a little bit distinct from the Bachelor of Commerce Marketing major is that smaller student cohort. So although we have very large student cohorts in our Bachelor of Commerce, this degree is a degree that's only existed for the last couple of years, although it was a long time coming, has smaller intakes in those trimester 1 and trimester 2, fewer campuses, and we try and foster a more tight-knit student experience. So because we are a more niche degree, this allows us to have more peer-to-peer connections, students, as you'll see with the course map in just a moment, students that you'll be taking all the same units with as you go through your degree. So you have the opportunity to really forge long-lasting bonds with the same people as you move through your degree together. And so we have tailored resources for this specific degree career information specific to it, connection with me, connection with student leaders as well, and access to all the resources as well for the marketing students and as well as those for the psychology students. So there's a great deal of resources and different things at your behest to help you in this degree as well. This degree, like I said, full marketing major, full psychology major. You will also study some core units in business, not the business acumen side so much as it is the analytics side, the professional insight side, which will help prepare you for careers in this area. And I'm going to talk about the work integrated learning just a little bit down the track. What the course structure looks like, as you can see here, first trimester, first year, really focused on getting those fundamentals in, both of psychology and of marketing, and that's where those analytics are coming in as well, and that professional insight. That professional insight unit quite specifically builds into what you might be doing in the second or third year, depending on how you organize things, which is that work integrated learning experience. So the professional insights unit will help you understand your individual career goals, help you with resume building skills, help you determine what type of employment will suit you, and help prepare you for when ultimately this degree requires you to go and undertake either an internship or a consultancy experience or one of our other work integrated learning experiences. We're very interested in students having the opportunity for hands-on learning experiences. And while that's an elective in the Bachelor of Commerce Marketing major, it is a formal requirement here in the Bachelor of Marketing Psychology, one of the things which distinguishes these two degrees. Also here, one of the units I'd like to quickly talk about is the MMK 266 Consumer Behavior. You'll see it right under year 1, trimester 2 at the bottom there. That unit is really the core and crux of what this degree is all about. It's understanding the mind of the individual consumer, why they act the way they do, why they engage in the behaviors, choices, why do we buy one product versus another, why do we like that TV so much, why do we hate that commercial so much, all those sorts of psychological influences on how we make our everyday decisions explored in that unit. And this particular degree is about exploring all that in a great amount of depth. The entry requirements for this degree, as I mentioned, there is a Burwood and a Cloud intake, and the Burwood ATAR is 73.7. If you're wondering why we don't post the ATAR for the online Cloud cohort, the reason for that is simply just because it is a very small intake, and so the statistics on it aren't actually that relevant for your purposes. You'll notice the study score here for English is slightly higher than it is for the Bachelor of Commerce, reflecting the psychological side of this degree and the relevant requirements as well across that subject. And the non-school leaver, the mature age students and non-school leaver information is right here, and you'll find it's very similar to that on the Bachelor of Commerce. And really, it's the bottom here for both degrees. The last line mentions that we recommend to submit a resume with a personal statement, and those personal statements can be very helpful and very interesting. As the course director, I do get to read these on occasion, and it's very fantastic to hear about what students are looking forward to when it comes to why they're joining our programs here at Deakin. Other things you might be interested in, so we're talking about entry pathways. For international students on this subject, you might be wondering about the different scores, and we're looking for a score of 6 with a band score, no band score specifically, sorry, less than 6 for the Bachelor of Commerce, and again, for the Bachelor of Marketing Psychology, just a little bit higher with an overall score of 6.5, but once again, no band score less than 6 for that Bachelor of Marketing Psych. And academic entry requirements for BCE students, of course, please apply through BTAC. And once again, if you have questions about that, that's what Open Day is all about. So please don't hesitate to ask. And also please check out the website on entry requirements. There's a great deal of information available for you there. Now, if you are a high school student or a secondary student, and you are really interested in Deakin, and you're really interested in getting university credit and want to start right away, we have the program for you, and that is Deakin Accelerate. So it's a distinctive BCE Extension Studies program where secondary students are able to take up to 2 units here at Deakin University. And when it comes to marketing for our purposes, both in the Bachelor of Commerce and the Bachelor of Marketing Psychology, the 2 units are the same. It is the Fundamentals of Marketing, that MMK 101, and the Consumer Behavior unit that I was just talking about. So those 2 units provide you with a flavor of this is what marketing is all about, just the fundamentals of the discipline. And also, this is what that more psychological side of marketing is all about. So if you are maybe debating between these two different degrees and you're not sure which one is more of interest to you, if you have the opportunity to take our Deakin Accelerate, then you will be able to take those 2 units and see which ones of these really is leaning more towards your interest, and if that psychological side of marketing is what excites you, which I will admit for myself, it is certainly what makes me passionate about marketing. There are other reasons, of course, to choose Deakin Accelerate. It boosts your ATAR. You get to choose from not just marketing, if there are other programs that you're interested in, earn university credit, and it looks absolutely fantastic as you go forward into applying for university. So I do highly recommend this program if this sounds like it's something available to you. There are also other pathways into the degree. So I mentioned there is the ATAR is maybe something that you're not 100% confident in. You might be applying to one of our different campuses, or you might be applying through TAFEs or through other alternate pathways that aren't necessarily the VTAC pathway. So please do check out the pathway finder and talk to someone at Open Day, and also check out the entry requirements website once again, because this information is available to you and we are eager to have you here at Deakin and help you find the right way through your educational path. So that's all the information about getting into the degree. I'm going to switch gears for a second and now jump over the student experience. I'm going to talk about the end of the degree, pathways in and pathways to where you would be going next. When it comes to the Bachelor of Marketing, when it comes to the Bachelor of Commerce with the marketing major, right here, what we actually have is the actual real career progression of one of our alumni and former graduates. So she started here at Deakin University and went from there. She took internships and work integrated learning experiences here while she was a student, and this helped provide her with a lot of graduate-ready skills. I worked with Beyond Blue in administration support, worked up as her first consultancy experience, then into an internship with Rosefly. From there, when she graduated, she had another internship with the Breast Cancer Network of Australia, moved up into a graduate analyst, and then remained with RACB, moving up through her career progression into eventually a marketing manager. And this is a very natural career progression for somebody who completes marketing major, starting out with internships, providing consultancy experience. Social media is a very fast growing field when it comes to marketing. Digital marketing is huge for career opportunities. And then putting those skills to work is analyzing, designing, consulting, and once again, becoming ultimately marketing manager, brand manager, customer success manager, as you move through your career, applying the skills that you would learn here at Deakin. More specific to the Bachelor of Marketing Psychology, this looks slightly similar and slightly different. Most of the career trajectory in this area is specific to communications, psychology, marketing, consumers. So it's all about understanding who the customer is, who the consumer is, understanding their customer journey. So customer journey expert, when we first become exposed to information about the company, all the way through to when we ultimately make our purchase decision, decide to buy that new cell phone and become a loyal consumer to that cell phone company. What does that journey look like, and how do we understand what that is from the brand perspective, from providing those consumer insights? Also, customer insights analysts, so providing that data understanding. Again, this degree involves those analytic skills. You will have a lot of analytic skills, both from the business analytics side as well as from the psychology side, which teaches some of the statistics, research skills, fundamentals of that form of research, which can be applied to marketing to generate customer insights, generate data insights and translate data insights. Someone else could do the data, or you'll have the ability to do the data analytics yourself, but translating that raw data into actionable business decisions and real insights for a manager is a very, very lucrative skill, very much in demand right now. We have a lot of data. Not everyone knows what to do with it. The ability to tell people how to use that data is a very good career progression for individuals coming out of the Bachelor of Marketing Psychology. So as you can see, these are all psychologically focused, and that is, again, one of the differences between these two programs. One of the other differences is the Bachelor of Marketing Psychology maintains the door to become a registered psychologist. And this is what I was saying a little bit earlier about the Australian Psychology Accreditation Council. that APAC accreditation maintains this door to be open for you. So if a student decides the marketing side of this degree was fun, but I really, really am passionate about the psychology side, I'd like to become a registered psychologist. From there, for any student in any psychology program in Australia, that does require a fourth year of study, which is either an honors year or a graduate diploma. And then ultimately from there, graduate level master's programs, and ultimately potentially a doctor of psychology. But although it requires some study, this is a very fantastic career for those who are passionate about counseling, about psychology, about clinical psychology, and it is a door that is open to you. So if you're wondering, would I be more interested in a corporate work environment that you might have in a business with a marketing degree, or would I be more interested in a more clinical profession? Well, this degree keeps both of those doors open for you. Speaking of what you might experience in this degree, deciding psychology, marketing, what your student experience is, and also just the Bachelor of Commerce, the student experience at Deakin is an absolutely fantastic student experience. One of the things that we do offer is a lot of practical learning experiences. So I mentioned that earlier that there's a capstone unit, strategic marketing. This is both in the Bachelor of Marketing Psychology and the Bachelor of Commerce marketing major. So that specific unit of strategic marketing involves a simulation with a real brand dashboard from real brand with real data from the company for the last couple of years, and students making real decisions and seeing based on what happened in the real world at that time due to market forces, what their decision would do with respect to the brand, and seeing that happen week on week in their seminar in real time under the guidance of the unit chair. So these types of simulations are things we like to bring into our learning to provide, again, a very hands-on experience for our students. We also partner with real companies across a great number of our units for authentic assessment. So for myself, just right now, I'm partnering with Warren Bull Bus Lines and helping design a marketing campaign for them for a future launch. I've also partnered with travel agencies in the past, with local businesses, with financial services providers. We tend to partner very frequently with small to medium enterprises and provide real data to students and a real learning experience so that students aren't just doing everything completely hypothetical in their student learning, and so that they can come out of their degree with some actual, getting their hands really in there in terms of what this is going to look like for their experience. We also, of course, have a great number of guest lectures from industry and a lot of very close ties to industry as well. The other thing we do, and I mentioned this earlier, is our work integrated learning programs. This is recommended in the Bachelor of Commerce. It's recommended that students in their second year be thinking about a consultancy experience, and in their third year an internship experience, but not formally required in the Bachelor of Commerce. In the Bachelor of Marketing Psychology, it is required for you to undertake at least one work integrated learning experience, and this might be anything from cultural engagement to consultancy to entrepreneurship to a formal internship. And the differences between those, the cultural engagement might be a volunteer program that you engage with. The consultancy and entrepreneurships might be here in-house at Deakin. So you might be working with students from accounting, finance, management, groups of 4 or 5 on a real business problem, where an actual small to medium enterprise will come to us and say, we have a business problem, and you will work all trimester to actually consult on this problem and provide solutions to a real company in real time under the guidance of a mentor. Internships, of course, are when you go and actually work within the company for the duration of the trimester. This can be either a self-sourced placement, so if you go out and find yourself an internship, or we also have a lot of partners who come to us and we help hire interns for them as well. So there are a great many opportunities for students through these internships, and they are a lot of fun. And some of those destinations, those partners that I mentioned, some of these are with Bendigo Bank, with local city governments and councils, hospitals, health, with various agencies, a lot, as you can see, government, council, police, ambulance. So we do try and work with things that are going to be, of course, up to the students' interests and across a wide range of industries, so students can tailor their experience and go where their passion is. There's also, you might have noticed, the international consultancy experience. We have a lot of traveling opportunities here at Deakin, that you might do a work integrated learning experience abroad, or you might do a study tour in a particular unit, or you might do an entire trimester abroad. Now, of course, the last couple of years have made that a little bit difficult with border closures, but things are changing. We've had online global internships over the last couple of years, which have been very, very interesting for the student experience. Might be working physically here in Australia, but digitally with a company around the world. But now we are seeing the opportunity for students to once again physically visit some of these other places. And we have over 200 partner universities around the world. So I would say the sky is the limit, but in this case, it's really that the globe is the limit. Studying online. So one of the things that Deakin absolutely prides itself on, even before the era of online Zoom teaching, is that online teaching is embedded into everything we do. We've been teaching online since far longer than I've been at Deakin, but digital is truly in our DNA. 40 years plus of distance and online learning has been our mandate. So because of that, we have a lot of digital experience, and the content is designed to be digital first in a lot of cases. There's also a great deal of support, both therefore for the online, but also in terms of scholarships, financial support, and other supports that you may need. And some of those other supports might include Deakin Medical Center, our multi-faith chaplains, disability support. So for students who might have learning disabilities or other experiences which impede their learning, we provide as many accommodations as we can to make sure that your student experience is going to be an equitable one and a positive learning experience for you. We also have a great deal of peer-assisted sessions and students helping students in those mentor programs for students. So really this peer-to-peer connection and providing you that connection across students so that you're getting these lifelong friendships as well out of your degree. Deakin Talent is our career services most specifically. So it's not specific to what you're learning necessarily here. It's about where you want to go next. So providing assistance with jobs and internships. You might have a practice resume building, somebody to look them over, also templates and guides, and also experience with interviewing for jobs. Networking events, we also sometimes have career nights where we have industry leaders come in and provide an opportunity to talk to them. That's within our marketing major and the Bachelor of Marketing Psychology, but Deakin Talent as well facilitates a lot of these sessions and does do their utmost to help students connect with future employers and be ready for the job market once they graduate. Great deal of workshops, coaching, and more resources genuinely than you can probably imagine. So if all of this sounds of interest to you, well, I hope that you're considering applying and are interested in doing so. So for school leavers who might be in the audience here today, applications for trimester 1 of next year can be made through VTAC, and for non-school leavers, applications are now open for mid-year and for trimester 3, which is our summer trimester. Remember that the Bachelor of Commerce does have a T3 intake if this is of interest to you. And if you're joining us as an international student, you might have specific questions that are maybe a little bit harder to answer, and there's a web chat available for you all day to help with your specific questions with experts who have all the information you might be looking for from that international perspective. So I do recommend talking to them, asking any questions. There's no question at all that we want to answer your questions. There's also information sessions specifically for international students and international student life here at Deakin. And that, on that note, is everything I have to say for you. Please join us in just a couple of moments for the live Q&A sessions to have some of your questions answered and explore the rest of Open Day and the resources available to you. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and I hope you consider Deakin University.
Hello and welcome. This is the live Q&A session for the marketing major and the Bachelor of Marketing Psychology. I'm Ginny Weber. I am a lecturer in the Department of Marketing and the course director for the Bachelor of Marketing Psychology. I'm delighted to be one of your presenters for this session today, and I'm joined by the head of the Department of Marketing, Professor Michael Polonsky, as well as Kate King from our Work Integrated Learning team. And we are fortunate to have a student ambassador with us for this session, Gloria Pham, and her focus is in communication and marketing. So if you'd like to ask a question, please type your question into the Q&A section in the question panel on this page, and we'll do our best to respond to all of your questions during this session. If you do have any unanswered questions at the end, though, our team of experts will be available on web chat all day to assist with those questions, including any specific international student-related admission questions or fees questions or queries. So at the bottom right-hand corner of your screen, you should be able to notice a chat now icon. It'll be yellow, so please click on this after the session to be connected with our team. All right, so just to kick us off, we have a question from Mel about what the difference is between studying a Bachelor of Marketing and Psychology or the Bachelor of Commerce Marketing major. And as the course director for the Bachelor of Marketing and Psychology, I'm delighted to take this first question. So the Bachelor of Commerce Marketing major is a degree that focuses on the business side of marketing. In it, you'll study the fundamentals of business in terms of marketing fundamentals in a full marketing major, but also finance, accounting, management, economics, these other things which round out your understanding of business and provide that business acumen with a potential to have double degrees in some other areas and the potential to have electives and a minor to supplement your business knowledge. On the other hand, the Bachelor of Marketing Psychology is a degree really focused specifically on those two areas, marketing and psychology. So although there's a full marketing major in both of these two different degrees, the Bachelor of Marketing Psychology has that marketing major paired with a full psychology major as well. So in the Bachelor of Commerce Marketing, you can choose to study psychology as some electives, but on the other hand, the Bachelor of Marketing Psychology is, instead of focusing on finance, accounting, management, and that business side of things, very heavily invested full psychology major within that degree. So those two core tenets are what come through. And as someone who studied psychology in my undergraduate degree, I'm very passionate about this combination. I think it's a great course to study, so happy to answer more questions about it if you have any. And moving forward with our second question, a question from Sylvia about what careers can be obtained from this course. So I'm going to be focusing on marketing careers, and I'll pass this question over to our head of department, Professor Michael Polonsky. He might be able to speak a little bit about some of the careers that are available in marketing, and then maybe we'll turn over to Gloria, our student ambassador, after that about her experience so far in the marketing job search. So Michael.
Yes, I guess all organizations have marketing areas, so ranging from the AFL to the Australian Red Cross to Procter & Gamble or Coke. So there's all organizations. You also have a whole range of specializations. So for example, things like brand management, you have a lot of work going on now in social media and online marketing activities. And one of the other questions that, well, we'll get to another one about different specific domains, but so there's a whole range of opportunities. And again, it allows you to specialize in given areas. So every organization has marketers.
Absolutely.
I'll pass you over to Gloria, sorry.
Thanks, Michael. So as Michael said, there are a variety of marketing careers that you can choose from after completing the course. I personally would say that digital marketing is a really booming industry in the marketing discipline. And from my experience, I know that employers really value the tech savviness and the digital marketing skills in the young graduates. So in my jobs and in my study, I work mainly with digital platforms and social media, and your other digital skills like design and video editing would really enhance your employability for a digital marketing career. And in marketing, it's not only about the end product, like the social media post or the images that come to the user. It's also about the whole thought process behind it. It's also about researching the consumer behavior and formulating the way that you can build an organization's brand and positioning in the customer's perception.
Yeah, absolutely. So as Gloria and Michael alluded to, there's a whole range of different career opportunities and trajectories from the consumer side, the research side, and especially that digital marketing side. And I teach a unit on integrated marketing communications, and we have some guest lectures from people who work for a world award-winning search engine optimization firm And just from what Gloria was saying about that value of those digital skills that young graduates have, the majority, and this is a literally world award winning, has, #1 in the world. And the majority of their staffers are under the age of 30 because those skills are so quickly moving that young graduates are absolutely the target for who they're looking at hiring. So massively growing field, and a lot of career opportunities available for marketing majors, as well as the Bachelor of Marketing Psychology, very similarly. So marketing psychology focusing a little bit more on what Gloria was saying about understanding the consumer, that research side, and that trajectory that focuses on the consumer behavior insights. All right, happy to move on to our next question. This one comes from Kate, and it's about the study abroad opportunities there are in this course. So just from a learning perspective, there are a lot of different study abroad opportunities from a range of different activities you might undertake. One of those, something we haven't had as much of a chance to do in the last couple of years due to border closures, but hoping to get back to. So some units have a study tour opportunity. So a couple of years ago, what our students were able to do is, if they wanted to have an international experience, take the study tour version of one of our subjects, and then in one case, they would tour around mainland China, go to different cities, visit different universities and different businesses as part of a student cohort learning about brand management. There's also exchange opportunities, which I might throw over to Michael to speak a little bit more about.
Yep. Deakin has a range of strategic partners. So, for example, you can go do a semester overseas, which is a range of partners in the United States, in Europe, in I think we have some in South America. I mean,
200 partner universities around the world in total, so quite a few opportunities.
So yes, so you can basically go and study a semester over there, which would count for your degree here. So you would design it in advance, get approval for those units. And I'll pass you over to Kate, who can talk a bit about also, we have work integrated learning opportunities overseas. So there's lots of chances to go overseas.
Perfect. Thanks, Michael. So yes, within the work integrated learning units, there are opportunities to go overseas. So for instance, we have an international consultancy experience unit, and to undertake this unit, you could do a study abroad working as a consultant internationally with a business, or we have business for social impact, another unit, and this can involve short-term experiences such as international tours. And these are more based on like social and environmental impact like projects. And then thirdly, within our internship unit, it's not necessarily faculty-led international experiences, but however, we do facilitate you sourcing your own international internship. So yeah, your internship can be based in Australia, it can be based anywhere in the world, and we can give you credit for it. We just don't go as far as facilitating, the sourcing and the internship and traveling over there.
Okay, fantastic. And since we're on the subject of sourcing placements, Kate, there is a question that's come in directed at you, and it's about what type of work placements or internship units are available within these courses and whether or not Deakin helps source those.
Okay, cool, thanks. So regardless of which way you're doing marketing, so if you're majoring in marketing and Bachelor of Commerce, or doing marketing psychology, you will have an opportunity to at least one WIL unit. So I've already alluded to some of the WIL units we have. Probably the most popular is our internship unit, because this is really discipline specific. And to answer the second part of the question, yes, Deakin will help you source an internship if you need. So our internship unit is 80 to 160 hours placement with a business or organization. And there's a few ways to undertake this unit. So if you find a marketing internship that you like with a company that you want to host you, you can fill out an application and we'll review the experience and approve that for you to give you credit. Or if you're having trouble finding a host yourself, we can find a host for you. So there's two ways we can do this. We post on the Deakin Talent Jobs Board. It's kind of like Deakin's internal Seek or Indeed marketing opportunities, and you can apply directly through the jobs board for those, or you can create what we call an intern profile, and the WIL team will basically work as recruiters for you. So we'll have your resume, and then when we source internships, if we see that you're suitable for the role, we can contact you, ask if you'd like to be put forward for it, and then give your contact details to the organisation directly. And then our other units, I've touched on business for social impact briefly. That has an international component, so you can do a study tour, doing an environmental or social impact project, or you could work, domestically. We are working with The Big Issue currently, helping. They are a charity that help create job opportunities for homeless people suffering homelessness. So that's another kind of example of a project you could do within that unit. And then we have a couple programs within a consultancy experience unit. So this is more faculty-led set sessions, but you're working with real businesses still in a team of consultants. And then if you're interested in entrepreneurship, we have a couple programs within entrepreneurship experience, which could even involve coming up with your own idea that could potentially be taken to market. And then lastly, the International Consultancy Experience Unit, which I discussed, which can be traveling overseas, working as a consultant with businesses, or during COVID, we offered virtual consultancy. So still working with the overseas businesses, such as Disney was one of the virtual opportunities, but yeah, working remotely from home.
Very cool. And as I think it's clear, there are so many opportunities in this area. And I hope that these resources are fairly easy to use, because Gloria, our student ambassador here, has actually had some of these experiences with, I think, the freelancing hub as well as an internship. So Gloria, can you speak to just your own experience of this?
Yeah, I was really fortunate to have a lot of fun with internships during my course at Deakin. So the first one that I did was with a program called Freelancing Hub. It's run by Deakin University, and you're going to work with a group of co-interns with a real life client on a real life project. The one that I did was a marketing and a member engagement project with Mitcham Angling Club. So it really mirrors the real consultancy environment, and you get to improve your teamwork and your communication and a lot of other transferable skills. The second internship that I got was from Deakin University's Jobs and Internships Board. It was with an award-winning communication agency in Melbourne, and my job was my tasks were mainly digital communication. So I did research, I provided consultation on digital communication issues to our clients, and I ran social media advertising, and I created social media content. And at the end of the internship, I got offered a paid role at that communication agency. So I was very lucky to get that opportunity right from my second year at uni. And that's why I cannot recommend the Jobs and Internships Board of Deakin University enough to anyone that I meet, because most of the first opportunities that I get that help me get the foot in the door are from that Jobs and Internships Board. We also have a service called Deakin Talent, which is a career support service that helps you write resumes, perfect your cover letters, ace your interviews, find jobs and internships, build your professional presence online and everything. And it's been top in Australia for a few years running. So I highly recommend checking that out.
Fantastic. Thank you, Gloria. So that definitely, I think, shows this range of internship opportunities and experiences and what those experiences are actually like for the student. There's a question here from Caitlin, and it's about whether so can I become a psychologist after this degree? I'm assuming this is for the Bachelor of Marketing Psychology degree, and I'm happy to report, yes, you can. So this degree is accredited through the Australian Psychological Accreditation Council, and that's the accreditation that's necessary in order to go on and become a psychologist. So this is the same accreditation that our Bachelor of Psychological Science here has at Deakin University. And it's the same units that you would be taking as well across these two programs. When it comes to becoming a psychologist, no matter which program you take in Australia, there is future study involved. So it involves a 4th year of study, whether an honors year or a graduate diploma, and from there applying to a master's program in psychology. But that door absolutely remains open for students in the Bachelor of Marketing Psychology. So if you take this degree and decide you're really loving the psychology piece, maybe marketing careers are not where your passion lies, we do make sure that that stays open for you. And on the subject of careers, there's a question from Chun about whether these degrees leads to a career in advertising or similar. And I think our questions or our answers so far probably point to yes, definitely. So that is one of the potential career opportunities into advertising agencies and firms, marketing communications. I think, as Gloria has mentioned, that social media side of marketing communications. Absolutely. Gloria, would you describe some of your role in communications as advertising, or do you think maybe the digital marketing and the advertising are fully separate in what you've done?
I would say a lot of advertising at the moment is digital. It's not just social media. It can also be like native advertising, website advertising. Yeah, there are a lot of types of advertising that are in the digital space. And I think when you study marketing, not only the discipline specific knowledge, but also the transferable skills you're getting from the course will definitely prepare you really well for a career in advertising, in marketing, and in communication in general. And you can get to choose the placements that you do. So you may wish to choose a placement or an internship that is a bit more focused on advertising. You may choose to intern with an advertising agency. So yes, definitely, there will be a career path into advertising for you. And yeah.
Yeah, no, fantastic. And that is exactly what I was thinking as well. And advertising is changing as digital tools change as well. So advertising careers are looking more as rounded careers too as time goes on, but those digital design skills or just design skills definitely could help an individual with that career pathway as well. And I do want to clarify that the marketing psychology degree also can certainly set you up for a career in advertising if that's what you're interested in. Having that insight into consumers' minds, how they think, psychology of perception, all of these things actually do have a strong impact on how we design advertisements and marketing communications. So still very much a viable career option if you're interested in bringing the psychology side of it in and studying the Bachelor of Marketing Psychology. Speaking about studies, we have a question as well about Deakin Marketing having a capstone subject or capstone unit. And yes, we absolutely do in our marketing major. The capstone unit is our strategic marketing unit, so marketing 325. And there's a question, and this question is more specifically about how it relates to the program. So this relates in that it is part of our major. It is a third-year unit, and it's what a lot of your education leading up to that point is building towards, so that you're able to take insights that you've learned in other units and really apply them in a more strategic and complex manner. So it has its own theory that it teaches you as well, but it also focuses really heavily on integrating those insights and having that application side of things. In the last couple of years, this unit has been taught also with a simulation-based learning method. The instructor who teaches it, he's fantastic. He's previously worked as a brand manager for major international organizations, and what he's done is worked to create and build into the unit a brand dashboard from, I believe it's Procter & Gamble. So students get to actually act as if they're a brand manager for one of the sub-brands of Procter & Gamble, have real-time data from the last couple of years of what Procter & Gamble were doing with that brand from the marketplace, make decisions and see how that would impact on their brand success over time. And this happens over several weeks in the unit. So that simulation-based, activity-based learning with real data, having those real applied insights and understanding how this all works. And as you can imagine, that complements well with work integrated learning opportunities, because again, it's application, it's putting your skills to the test, not just learning the theory, but learning what to do in the real world. Our capstone unit is within that classroom environment very much, but absolutely a complementary overall perspective. So I hope that answers your question. A lot of our courses do have capstone subjects. They're really that subject that says, this is what I've learned and that this is how I'm able to apply it. There is another question in here about completing marketing or marketing psychology as part of a double degree. So I should specify that marketing psychology cannot be completed as part of a double degree. It's only the Bachelor of Marketing Psychology because it already has two full majors within it, the marketing major and the psychology major, compressed into a 3-year timeline, whereas our double degrees are typically 2 majors from 2 different programs across 4 years. However, there are a ton of different degrees that you can combine into a double degree with the Bachelor of Commerce marketing major. And I believe, Gloria, you're a you're a Bachelor of Communication student, are you not?
Yes,
Yeah.
right, yeah.
And so why did you choose to pair marketing and communications? What was the passion there?
I think they really align with one another. So I choose to study communication, which is a bit broader and is not as business focused as marketing. But then when I join social clubs and social organizations in the marketing position, I'm really interested in doing marketing. And that's why I take on marketing units. And I really, really enjoy learning the marketing units. So I just take on more and more. So in our course structure, we do have the flexibility to choose electives. So I choose a lot of marketing electives for my electives. And also because marketing is really developing industry, and I see a lot of career opportunities for me in this industry, and that's why I want to build up my marketing acumen.
Awesome, fantastic. And just, we do have minutes left, so if you have more questions, please keep them coming in. We do have a couple more. And speaking it more specifically to the different double degrees, just to round this one off as well. So there are, just to list them off, you can do a double degree with a Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Laws, Business Analytics, International Studies, Property and Real Estate, Bachelor of Science. This is a cool one, Bachelor of Public Health and Health Promotion, specifically learning how to apply the marketing theory to promoting health-related causes, activity, healthy eating, medical information, etc. So there's a lot of interesting application there, combining this with our School of Health, as well as Bachelor of Nutrition Science can be paired. And there is a lot of marketing promotions and marketing communication in the nutrition space in and around healthy eating, and Bachelor of Communications. So that is the list. And for the most part, I also want to say, much like Gloria, a lot of our students who have become very passionate, taken a lot of ownership over their degrees, are students who do end up focusing also in some of these other areas, finding a niche that they really love, adding to their marketing degree, whether it's through electives or whether it's through a double degree, or whether they're coming in from communication, some of those skills in and around graphic design, or in and around public relations, or in and around business analytics. So providing them with some of those job ready skills to say, this is my specialization, this is where I want to go forward. So if you are a student interested in a double degree, I actually do highly recommend looking into that. And as Gloria said, tailoring your degree to what suits you and suits your individual passions. Okay, speaking about individual passions, we have a question from the audience about marketing subjects within the Deakin Accelerate program. So for those who might not be aware, the Deakin Accelerate program is a program for BCE students, for current students to experience a little bit of what university is like, and they can take up to two specifically chosen ones, units here at Deakin University. For us, those units are integrated, our Marketing Fundamentals, Marketing 101, as well as our Consumer Behavior unit. Those units are specifically chosen because they apply across both the marketing major and the Bachelor of Marketing Psychology. So the Bachelor of Marketing Psychology, if you're on the fence, if you're not sure if you love this combination of marketing and psychology, you think you might be interested, if you have the opportunity to go through our Deakin Accelerate program, taking that Consumer Behavior unit will really give you an insight into, is this something that is for me? Do I like applying the psychological insights? Do I like the psychological side into a marketing environment? It's also, both of these are units that are part of our marketing major. So the Deakin Accelerate program also just gives you some of that university credit, that university experience. It helps you get your foot in the door. And also, I might actually ask Gloria, you've taken our Marketing Fundamentals unit. Can you speak a little bit about the student experience in that unit?
Yes, so that was the unit that I took in my first trimester at Deakin, and that was the unit that made me realize that I want to do marketing. So for Marketing Fundamentals, you're going to get a very broad overview of what marketing is, of what marketing entails, that unit really made me appreciate the well thought out processes behind the marketing campaigns. Like every little display of the brands that you see behind that is a very intricate and complicated thought process of a marketing team. You get to know why like fast food brands choose red as their color. It's simple things like that. And you really get to know the process of the marketers getting the product to the consumer and building up the brand perception in their mind. So in that unit, the assessments are very authentic and very practical. You don't have to write long reports and essays, but you actually get to research and solve a practical problem for a real life organization. And you get to do research and you get to write up marketing plans for them. So it's a very insightful and fun unit.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you, Gloria. And Michael, I think I might turn this next question over to you. It's about the pathways into our degree and about, so the specific question is, can I start studying online and then transfer to studying on campus, and whether or not there are any specific subjects that need to be completed in a located campus?
You can enroll in any of our programs at Deakin on multiple campuses. The marketing degree or Bachelor of Commerce in Marketing and the marketing and Bachelor of Psychology, I believe.
Yep.
Marketing you can also do one in Burwood and in Geelong.
Oh, not Geelong
No,
for the Bachelor of
yeah,
Marketing Psychology, but fully online. Yeah.
Fully online. So basically, and you can do any of the units online. We run many of them synchronously, which basically means you basically are sitting in a class. Some people are sitting face to face, some people are online. You have the opportunity, if you're not able to do it synchronously, the recordings are there and you can go through the material. So there's no specific requirements of studying just on campus. The issue, you can study online and then transfer to campus. We have students who, to be perfectly honest, switch. Some weeks they come on campus, some weeks they go online. It's not designed to do that, but the method that we deliver allows that consistent experience across all the modes that students are delivered. So yes, you can enroll online. The one difference is, I guess, if you do enroll online, for example, we run face-to-face tutorials, which you won't be able to attend if you enrolled online.
Right.
But we do run online tutorials as well.
Yes, we do. And to the other half of that question, you also are more than welcome to enroll online and then choose to transfer to our located campuses after that. So you absolutely can switch between or transfer between those campuses once you're enrolled at Deakin. And for some students, that's a pathway in because the ATAR for the online enrollment is a little bit lower than the Burwood ATAR, for example. So if that's something you're thinking about strategically, absolutely, that is a certainly viable pathway for you. We're almost out of time. So I just
I should add one thing. If you're going to if you'd like to transfer between modes, there is a process where you have to apply. So it's not like it's an automatic activity, which is very important.
Yes.
So we encourage students to do well in all the modes in which they study, which creates more opportunities.
Absolutely. Thank you for that clarification, Michael. With our last minute of time, first, I'd like to thank you all for these interesting questions. Last quick question for Gloria, actually, and it is about, what the typical day for a Deakin student looks like, what the study load is like, what your experience here at Deakin University feels like.
My years at university, I think have been like an absolute blast. So studying at Deakin is not very heavily theoretical as far as I can see. It's very hands-on, it's very practical. And the way our course is structured, the plenty internship and placement opportunities that you have, the career support services that you have, they're all to enhance your employability after graduation. That's why your assessment and the clients you're working with will be very practical. So you do get to accumulate that practical experience before you graduate. And so your employability prospect after graduation will be really good. We also have plenty of support services for students, from academic to health and well-being. And we're the #1 university in Victoria for student satisfaction. So that speaks volumes. Yeah, I'm very content and happy with my experience here.
Fantastic. Thank you, Gloria. And also that's really happy. I'm really happy to hear that just as one of the instructors here at Deakin University, we do hope that our students are having this positive experience. I'm very happy to hear that has been your experience. Unfortunately, though, that is all the time that we have for today. So if we've not been able to respond to your question yet, please do join our all-day web chat. This is at the bottom right hand of your screen, and our expert staff are ready to answer your questions all throughout the day. So if you'd like to learn more, you'll also find loads of really useful resources on our Deakin Open Day website, and we highly encourage you to explore that. like to thank you all for joining us. It's been really great to see so many of you interested in marketing and in marketing psychology here at Deakin, and to receive and be able to answer so many of your questions. So thank you for your time, and we hope to see you at Deakin soon.